Are we good? 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 Give me thumbs up if we're good. Are we good? There we go. Disc Rover. I appreciate you, man. What's going on, people? All right, let's start off from the top, all right? Mic check, mic check, mic check. Let's do it. Tough loss to them boys, 119 and 117 to the defending champs. The Big Cat, 34 points, 14 rebounds. The captain, 27 points, 9 assists. Tough loss, man. Tough loss in overtime. You gotta love the fight, man. You gotta love the fight. We're getting closer and closer. We're getting closer and closer, right? And I think that this team, we were fully loaded. We got everybody back. I thought we had a good fight, and I thought we had the game there. Of course, Tatum hit that three to put into overtime. But I thought all in all, this was a great game by these guys. Listen, man, the champs showed their championship medal, man. They did. But there was a couple of things that I thought in this game that really, really had an impact on us losing the game, right? Now, we'll touch on it. This Rover, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Big Task. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Gravity. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Tough loss for them boys, 119 to 117. Vibes. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Tough loss in overtime. Tough loss in overtime. Listen, man, look. I thought we came out great tonight. I thought we came out great. I thought we looked like we wanted it tonight. You can see it. You can see that we were like, okay, we're going to get this win tonight. And I thought we were going to get it. I truly, truly did. I said, okay, the Knicks are looking good. I even thought it was great production from the bench. I thought everybody was playing good. It wasn't a great game for OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges, but they came up with big buckets when we needed it. So I thought it was a total team win, total team effort tonight. Even though we fell short, I still loved what we pretty much, how we went about it and the fight that we showed. And it's given me like a little glimmer of hope that we could possibly beat these guys in 7 games, right? Keyword is possibly, right? Eddie Kofi, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Tough loss, some boys, 119 and 117. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 27 points and 9 assists. Hey, listen, man, look, you got to give it to Tatum, and of course you got to give it to Porzingis, right? They're matchup nightmares. But I'm going to talk about Porzingis too, but here's the thing with Tatum, right? I want you guys to identify. Did you see how he was having trouble with OG Anunoby? See how they were switching that every single time. Bridges had to fight over that screen. He was trying to, but it was hard. A couple of times he did, and OG Anunoby was able to, guard Tatum. He was giving Tatum a hard time. See, he can't push OG Anunoby around the way he did Bridges. He can't do that with OG Anunoby. Even if you saw it when they were kind of standing trying to get the tip ball, you saw he was trying to push OG Anunoby off his spot. He couldn't move him. See that he's big enough and strong enough to give Tatum problems. Now Tatum gonna get his. He's that good of a player, but you still want somebody to kind of give some resistance, and that's what OG Anunoby can do. That's why every single time he was coming down, he was switching on that. And Bridges, I thought, played him really, really well. Even, Reggie Miller stated that on a broadcast as well. I thought Bridges played him really well. But the reality is this, man. Tatum is just that good of a player, man. Tatum is just that good of a player. And so, you have to identify that, how good he is. Here's where we lost the game. It wasn't even like, of course, OG had his game, and, I'm going to touch on that too. I thought Bridges was okay. He had his ups and downs, but he had big shots. He had big shots and big moments in certain aspects. Here's the problem. And this is, I don't know, man. I don't like doing this, but you have to kind of look to coaching. Here's the problem. Reggie Miller even stated it during the broadcast, and I was screaming at my television. I was out of control. I think I woke up everybody in my house, but I wanted this win bad tonight. He was saying the Knicks are switching everything, and that was the adjustment they made. And you saw it when Mitch switched on Tatum. Tatum tried to pull a three. He blocked his shot. They got the rebound. They kicked it out, got the layup, because they were switching everything. Them chasing guys off of the screen and them leaving guys open for three, that's all coaching, man. That's not the players. Like, that's coaching. That's why that's why people say what they say about this guy. Now, look, the whole thing that's been out there, I've been seeing it on Twitter and Twitter. I'm sleeping. I'm sorry. Pause on that. Twitter and all out there in the Knicks universe about Tibbs and getting 50 wins, back-to-back seasons. Listen. Kudos to him. Like, I think it's awesome. But there's ways that he could get better. Like, and of course, he's not getting fired, guys, so don't even think that. But you got to switch on that. You got to switch on that. Like, you got to switch. And Cat's going to have to D up, or Mitch. And Mitch has shown that he can move them puppies, as Big Perk would say, right? He can move those feet and kind of get in position to block shots and to defend. Cat was able to do it too. You're going to have to switch. Anytime you chase, you're leaving dudes wide open. How many times did they chase and they left Porzingis wide open? How many times they did that tonight, man? Porzingis was killing them from three, man. Killing them because they were leaving them open. They were chasing off of everything, off of those screens. I'm like, you got to switch that, man. I mean, this is simple hoops. Like, this is not like LV's just saying this is a basketball. This is simple stuff. Porzingis was 8 for 13 for three tonight, man. 8 for 13. Like you got to switch on that. Excuse me. You got to switch on that. You have to. Tim, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rockin' with LB Live. Tough loss from the boys, 119 and 117, and a hard-fought victory, hard-fought loss in overtime. The Big Cat, 34 points, 14 rebounds. That's where they lost the game. You got to switch that. You cannot chase off of the screen. I don't know why they kept doing that, because you're leaving wide open shooters. But once again, that's a coaching philosophy, because everybody was doing it. From Bridges to even Brunson, Josh Hart does it all the time. That's a Tibbs philosophy, because when you chase, you don't want to do that because you don't want to give up layups or whatever the situation is. You don't respect the shooter, because the higher percentage shot is a layup. That was back in like 91, 92. The higher percentage shot now for these guys is a three. They shot almost 53 pointers tonight. They shot 49, if I'm exact. They shot 49 3-pointers, and they almost made 40% of them, man. 40, they almost shot 50 threes tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's the ball game. So that's the new change in the NBA. You can, when they're throwing that pick, you got to switch. I don't care who's there. You're going to have to switch, man. You're going to have to switch. You're going to have to switch. You're going to have to switch. And so I don't know, that's just a coaching philosophy. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And that's the frustrating part about the whole thing. Like, because I think we have a really, really good team, guys. We really, really do. Brunson is back. So we don't have to worry about that ankle. I think he's ready to go. I think he's primed and ready to go. But that's a simple adjustment. We make that adjustment, we win this game tonight. We win this game tonight. We were matching the intensity. Excuse me, LV, jeez. We were matching the intensity all night. And so for me, that was the beauty of what I saw tonight, because I wanted to see if we were rebounding great. We out-rebounded them tonight. On the boards, they had 38 to our 52. 38 to 52, man. We out-rebounded them. Jeez, LV, man. Excuse me. We out-rebounded them by 14 tonight. 14. And so, to me, that's the ball game, man. That's the ball game. Those minor adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Those minor adjustments you got to make. You got to make that defensive change. Like, you can't continue to leave these dudes wide open for three, because as soon as you chase, all it takes is a millisecond. That's all it takes is a millisecond. You understand what I'm saying? And so you have to automatically, soon as that pick comes, switch. You got to do it automatically. So now the kid knows whether it's, Drew Holiday, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whomever else is at the top of the key for them. You know what I'm saying? Which is, of course, is Drew Holiday and of course Derek White, right? So you got to make that. You got to force them to make that decision quick. And whoever's the big, he's got to move his feet, because what we're not doing is giving open wide open threes. We're not doing that. So you're going to have to switch. You're going to have to contest. When they did that, everything looked great. And I thought that was fabulous that they were doing that when Mitch was out there and all these other things. But they stopped after that. I don't know why. That's coaching. Another big problem, which is huge. You got to identify the mismatch, right? And the biggest mismatch that was out there tonight in moments, right? And they did not identify it and they did not take advantage of it. And once again, to me, that's coaching. Is when OG Anunoby was out there and you had Sam Hauser, right? That's the guy's name? I just want to make sure. Yeah, Sam Hauser. They had Sam Hauser defending OG. Now, OG's been scorching for the last couple of weeks, right? Scorching. How? And I was screaming at the television people. How do you not identify that as a coach and say, yo, we running everything through him? Let's go on that matchup right there. OG attack all day. How do you not do that? I have to lean into, you could sit there and talk about, okay, Bridges didn't play great, OG didn't play great. You could do that all day. Guys have off nights. That happens. But it's those little minor adjustments which changes the score here from maybe 119 to 117 to where we went at 123, 119. It's those little minor adjustments, right? Those little things. You don't switch. You don't switch on excuse me. You don't chase when they're kind of coming up and setting the screen. You switch on that. And when you see a mismatch with OG on Hauser, you let OG go to work. It's simple things like that. You tell Brunson or you tell Josh Hart, whoever's got the ball out there calling out plays, yo, we're going straight to OG on this. They weren't really looking for him tonight at all. That's coaching, man. Listen, guys, I played this game my whole life, man. I played this game. This game is no different. This game is no different than what it is in a park, than what it is you playing AAU, you playing on a college team, you're playing in high school. This game is no different. You identify the mismatches, and that's it. Boston did it every single time when they came up and set the screen for Tatum to come up to where he can get Bridges. They identified that. You see OG has been cooking. Why don't you have him go down and attack Hauser? Why won't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? He's over there going like this. Yo, my man, I wanted to go, yo, stop with that and give OG the ball right there in the post and let him attack this dude. This is simple hoops, man. That's it. If they come in double, let them swing it and you knock down a three. This is easy, man. This is not hard. That was the biggest frustration I had with tonight. Those two things. J Deals, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming to Rock with LV Live tonight. Tough loss for them boys, 119 to 117. The captain, 27 points, 9 assists. This game was ours, man. This game was ours to be had. And I love the fight, man. I love the fight, especially that push in that fourth quarter, man. I thought it was great to pretty much put us up by 7. I mean, put us up by 3. Right? That was a beautiful pass from Brunson coming off when they trapped him. Bridges hit that 15-footer, bang, put us up by 3. I said, okay, I think we got this. But Tatum, come on, man. Tatum's all NBA. He's all NBA. So I'm not surprised that he knocked that down, man. He's that good. I can't even get mad. OG, he hit OG with the corner, with the cross. OG can't do nothing with that. That's unguardable, man. That's unguardable. You can't do nothing with that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I thought that Brunson had his moments too, man, where he was unguardable, right? So, you're going to have your moments. I thought Cat was great tonight. I thought Cat was really, really good, right? The only issue I have with Cat is like, I don't, once again, and this is where I think, once again, it kind of comes to the coaching piece, right? To make the minor adjustments. They swung the ball over to the elbow, right? So I think to Drew Holiday. Cat dropped down to the free throw line. He dropped down to the free throw line and left Porzingis out there on 3. Like after that, I would have called a timeout. Boop. I would have said, "Yo, man, what are you doing? You got to identify the shooter. Like, what man? Why are you dropping down in the paint, playing in the drop, and you leaving Porzingis at 3? You got to be on him. Even Mitch knows that. Like it's insane. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just basketball sense. Like it just does not make any sense defensively. And so that was another one of my huge frustrations. It just didn't make any sense. Why are you dropping? The ball is over there in the corner. You leaving him. This guy shoots more threes than he makes layups. He can't even finish in the Baja. You see him struggling down there. Deuce ripped the ball out of his arms. He's an outside shooter. He's an outside player. He's not. You got to identify that and know that. Know what this guy can do. That's all he does. I would not. As soon as he comes over, I would not. I'm not leaving him open for nothing. I'd rather give up a layup. I'm not leaving him open for 3. You got to make that decision. You got to give in when you make that switch. Someone's gonna have to check up whoever. But I'm not dropping, and that's what Cat was doing. He was dropping in the paint. Stop helping, man. Identify who the shooter is. Simple stuff, man. Simple stuff. Look at JDO's direct said, dudes, expect us to win a chip this year. The Cavs, Celtics, OKC been together for several years. Be patient. JDO's listen. Of course we're patient. We've been patient for how long? What was the year? 1970 what? 1972. I think we've been extremely patient. I understand your point, though. I understand your point. It's not even that, JDO's. I'm just speaking of simple adjustments that need to be made that are not being made. So that's my thing. LV, this is a new team. No, JDO's. I understand that. That's not the issue, JDO's. That's not the issue. And I'm not saying we win a championship. I'm not saying that, JDO's. What I'm saying is it's simple adjustments that need to be made in game that's not being made. Like that. That's the problem I'm having. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue. So you know, that's the frustration. Vaughn Allen, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Tough loss in overtime for them boys. 119 and 117. The Big Cat, 34 points, 14 rebounds. Tibbs is Tibbs. Got outcoached once again, honestly. I don't think Tibbs is coming back after this season. I think Dolan's going to step in and get who he wants here. I don't know, Tim. I think Tibbs is back. I think next year is going to be the year for him if he doesn't get it done. It's too much of a connection there with him, Leon, and West. Like, they got a really strong bond there, so I don't think they get him up out of there. I mean, I saw what happened to Mike Malone, and, you know, we saw what happened with oh, man, I forgot the Grizzlies coach, right? We see what's happening. That's not going to happen with Tibbs. He's too linked in right there. You know what I'm saying? So, but after this year, if we get smoked in the first or second round or whatever, he's definitely on the hot seat. That's a fact. Vaughn Allen said LV Towns has poor habits defensively, and certainly will continue to be put in actions with Tatum and KP. And Tom needs to find a counter. That's what I'm saying, Vaughn Allen. I'm glad you said that. That's what Tibbs has got to do. He's got to identify that, or if not, pull him to the side and say, "Yo, listen, man. You got to switch on that, and you got to contest. I don't want you dropping. I don't want." But see, Vaughn, that's why I think that's a coaching thing. Like you got to know what you have, and really, you got to make adjustments, man. You can't continue to do the same thing because I'm seeing the same mistakes, man. And to me, that's a direct line to him. And with that change, we win this game. We win this game. I guarantee you, because when we were switching, we looked great defensively. Even Reggie Miller said it. So that's, I'm just come on, man. We all watching the same game. And once again, this is not a hard game, man. This is not. You just got to make minor adjustments, man. That's it. Delali, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Tough loss to them boys, man. Tough loss. Great game, though, man. Great fight they had. I love what I saw. I'm glad we didn't get smoked. But great fight, man. 119-117. The Big Cat, 34 points, 14 rebounds. He says, as long as Precious didn't play, he's way too soft against these big teams. Yeah, man. I thought, I don't know. I think Precious might be out of the rotation, man. Because you're seeing Tibbs showing his hand now. He's showing his hand who he's playing. How many played tonight? He played 4 tonight, right? He played 9. He went 9 tonight. So I think he's showing his hand who he's going to play. This Grover says, what individualism with Josh, Cat, and JB are only going to get slower and slower as time goes on? Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to kind of see with them because but they're in a win now mode, man. This Grover, they're in a win now mode because, like, to your point, these guys age. Eric Green, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss in overtime to them boys. 119-117. The captain, 27 points, 9 assists. Eric Green says, it's coming to a time with Tibbs, for Tibbs to go upstairs. How do you feel about Mike Malone from Denver? No, I don't like Mike Malone. They're like the same guy. Because I don't know if anybody knows. There was some issues out there with Mike Malone out there with the same issues. They have problems because they want to play the young guys, but he wants to play people like Westbrook and those old dudes, and they got an issue with that. So he would bring those same philosophies that Tibbs has over here. So he's like a younger version of Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that would be a good decision. So, I mean, just my opinion. This over said we signed these dudes as a win now. Agreed. No, listen, just Grover. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. That's why they brought these guys over here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why they brought those guys over here. And so those are things that, you know what I'm saying? J. Deal says, why don't Cat face up Drew Holiday and shoot over him? Yeah, man, that fall away that he shot, I think that was in the third. I think that was in overtime. I was like, Cat, what are you doing? But to me, it seemed like he had tired legs. That's what it seemed like for me. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. Hey, David, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live tonight. Tough loss on them boys, 119-117. A hard-fought game in overtime. Jalen Brunson, 27 points, 9 assists. David said, Knicks lost this game at the foul line. Hey, man, that's a great point too, man. That's a great point. They were 20 for 25. Guys, we were 10 for 16. 10 for 16. 10 for 16. I thought that was bad. That was really bad. That's the bowl game right there. We hit 6 more of those, we win the game. We win the game. So that just wasn't good. Because you gotta say OG was 3 for 6 from the line, man. OG didn't shoot well at all from the line. He was 3 for 6. Those 3 points, we probably win the game 120. You know what I'm saying? So that's big, man. That's big, something to pay attention to. Also, too, guys, here's a positive note. I thought the bench was solid tonight, man. I thought the bench played really, really well. I thought Mitch was a monster tonight. A monster. 16 minutes for him. He was 2 for 3 from the field. He had 4 points. Nice, beautiful tip-ins. He had 7 boards tonight. 4 offensive, 3 defensive, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks for money-making Mitch. I thought he was fabulous tonight. Fabulous. I thought Mitch played extremely, extremely, extremely well tonight, man. It was really good to see him out there. I thought Mitch was exceptional. And so I think that he's got, and I saw they also had him and Cat out there at the same time, which I thought was good. And that's when Cat really started getting busy. I don't know why Tibbs didn't go back to that. You know what I mean? I don't know, but once again, I don't know, man. But these are just adjustments, right? I don't know why he didn't go back to that. I don't know why he didn't go back to that. Oh, JD, so OG got hurt at the end of the game. Oh, yo, you know what's crazy? JD, I did see him limping like towards the end of the game a little bit. So I don't know if he got like a tightness or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to hope he's okay. Because the last thing we need is for him to pull a hamstring, right? Because he's been playing a lot as of the last couple of weeks. So we got to make sure he's good. He's off tomorrow. They're on a back-to-back. So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta hope that he's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's we gotta be mindful of that too, man. So so it was we gotta watch for the OG thing, man. I'm kind of nervous about that, to be honest with you. But it could be, it could be a little sore too. You know what I'm saying? Could have been sore. You know, so that's something that maybe we could, we can kind of like, I don't want to say dismiss, but you know what I'm saying. I don't really think it is possibly a big deal, but that's something to kind of pay attention to. It is. Alan Wine, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV live tonight. Tough loss to the boys, 119 and 117. The Big Cat, 34 points, 14 rebounds. Joe Bridges was all right tonight, man. He wasn't the greatest, but I thought, okay, let me say this with him. He didn't have great moments, but he did have other great moments too. I thought he came up with some big shots. Like, remember, he missed the jumper in the corner, and he came down right off. They got the rebound and came down and hit the bang the three. Boom, that was big. Then Brunson hit him with the bounce pass right there in the middle for the 15-footer. Bang in the money. That put us up by 3, 107, 104. With about, I don't know, what was about 16 seconds left? Something like that. That was big. So he had his moments. I thought OG had his moments too. It wasn't a great game, but I love when Brunson tried to hit the three, he missed it. OG got the rebound, put it back, right? So once again, they had their moments. But tonight was really dominated by Brunson and Towns. Tim says, I wanted to see more of the lineup tonight with Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, and Mitch. Mitch definitely played well enough to be in the game. Hart didn't have it going. Yeah, man, Josh was kind of like all over the place, right? Crying and stuff. He be crying too much, man. He be crying. He's starting to whine too much, man. Guys, Josh played 48 minutes tonight. 48. Tibbs loves him, man. He's forever, Nick. He's never going anywhere. He had 10 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Thought he was okay too. Thought he was okay. He had 3 steals though. He was active. You know. He was all right, man. He was all right. Listen, I thought we showed great fight, man. But I just think it's those minor adjustments, man. It's those minor adjustments that really, really decide a game. And like I said earlier, that not switching on defense and leaving those guys wide open for threes, those are daggers, man. But that's all a philosophy, man. That's all a coaching philosophy. And I think that's pretty much what happened tonight. And that's where, you get to the point where, guys are saying that he's getting out coached and all these different things because you're seeing that they're doing the same stuff. They're making the same mistakes against Boston. They're leaving these guys wide open for threes because they're chasing. It's just those little minor things. Vaughn Allen says, I will take this one. They are the champions, and we have certainly made strides since Jalen's injury. Our best ball is ahead of us, time or no time. Well said, sir. Well said. Well said. Well said. I agree with that. I like our team, man. I do. I'm going to go ahead and say it. If the New York gets knocked out in round 1 or 2, Tibbs needs to be gone, man. See, everybody's saying that, man. Everybody's saying it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's coming back. You know what I mean? Just because, once again, the relationship with him and Leon and West, that's some deep stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than basketball with those guys. So I don't think he goes anywhere. But this team is good, man. This team, we're a really good team. And you could see where we're kind of missing certain things in that aspects. And, and that's why I don't really like the whole Bridges slander and all this other stuff. Like, I think he has good moments. But once again, there's only one ball, man. I told you guys, when Brunson comes back, everything's going to change. These guys are not going to be getting up shots like that. Listen, look, Brunson's the man. He's going to get his. OG took 13 shots. Bridges took 15. Brunson took 21. Towns took 21. I'm trying to tell you guys, when he comes back, all that stuff with OG, that's going to cease, because the ball changes when he's there, man. And you see how good he is. The court shrinks because Brunson is Brunson. You saw him hitting big shots tonight. So this is what he does. That's why I say, the coach is going to have to find a way to incorporate OG and Mikal on that second unit somehow, some way. Maybe, flip-flop. Maybe the first half, you have Bridges out there with the second unit. The second half, you have OG out there with the second unit. Maybe something like that, because that's where you got to let them get off. But they're not going to really be able to cook like that with Brunson out there. They're just not. And then Towns have it going too. How many shots you think these guys are going to get? So it's just, it's a difficult thing, man. That's why I knew if Brunson comes back and he's Brunson, them dudes ain't going to be doing what they're doing, man. They're just not, because he's listen, man. He needs the ball in his hands. That's just who he is as a player. You know what I'm saying? And so we gotta identify that. This Grover always coming through with the heat. Tibbs needs to be deported to Yemen. You don't have to read this one out loud, LV. Nah, I have to, man. This is a good one. This is a good one. We have too much talent. Yeah, we have a lot of talent, man. This team is really good. Alec Line says, I am no head coach, man, but watching these games, the drop coverage, the going under screens, Boston loves the threes, and we give them those shots. Atlantic Line, one of my day ones, man. He's one of my day ones. Coming through dropping bars, 1,000% correct. 1,000% correct. Atlantic Line, that's all coaching, man. That's all coaching. Like that's nothing more than that. It's whatever. They're going under screens, cool. They're fighting through screens. That's fine. I think that's great. But you can only do that with certain teams. You can't play drop and you can't fight over screens with Boston. You're going to have to switch everything, because they are truly a 5-out. You can't leave none of them dudes open for 3. So you're going to have to switch on everything. This once again, I've said it before. This is simple hoop stuff, man. This is not hard. You see what they're doing. You say, yo, we can't leave shooters. We can't. I'd rather give up a layup than that, because they knock them down in a high clip. And before you know it, you was down 2. Now you're down 12, because they done knocked down 3 in a row. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it goes, man. Yo, that's how it goes. Playing against these dudes. But that's why I say it comes back to that. Those little minor adjustments. And I know I sound like a broken record, but to me, that's the ball game. Give or take the free throws, right? We missed 6 free throws tonight, right? We were 10 for 16. You make those free throws, you win the game, right? Okay, cool. But even with that, we still lost by 2. But look how many wide open threes we gave to Porzingis. Everybody's going under the screens chasing instead of switching on that. And he's sitting at he might as well give him a Coke and a smile and you know what I'm saying, and a love seat, because he's just sitting at the top of the 3-point line, and they just letting him, because they chasing and going like Atlanta Lions said, going under the screens and chasing. What are you doing, man? Why are you doing? You got to switch on that. He's been killing y'all from the top of the key or the elbow, wherever he's at in the 3-point line. You got to identify the shooter. They're not even doing that. Why not? Now, I'm not going to sit and say these guys don't know the game and they're not smart basketball. I don't want to go that far because I think these guys are highly intelligent on the court. So now I have to lean into, okay, then because they're doing the same thing. So obviously they're being coached to do that when they're being told to do that. So it's just those adjustments that have to be made. And after they do that, I think we win. Delali says the Knicks showed fortitude tonight. That's what I wanted to see against the Celtics, and we showed it. Tatum, 3 to force OT, won it for them. Agreed. Like I said, man, this was a fabulous game tonight. Fabulous game. I thought the Knicks showed a lot of fight, man. And this is what I wanted to see from them. And to your point, because of Tatum's heroics, that's what really won them the game. So, it is what it is, man. I mean, they are the champs, so you gotta find a way to beat them. Because if you get through the first round, that's who you're gonna see. Atlanta Klein says Tibbs has got to be one of the worst coaches when it comes to adjustments. Yeah, he's stuck, man. He's stuck. Question I have for you guys. I'm gonna throw this out there, right? Because I don't, listen, man. The guy's got 50 wins last 2 years. You got to give him his props. You got to give it to him, man. You can't diss the guy like he's a bum because he's not. He's a good coach. He is. But everybody in the chat, I want to ask you guys something. If it's not Leon, who's the GM of the Knicks, does Tibbs get fired this summer? If it's not Leon, if it's someone else that's the GM, does Tibbs get fired this summer? Do you guys see that happening? Even with back-to-back 50-win seasons, do you guys see that happening? I want everybody in the chat to answer yes or no. Do you see that happening? If Leon's not the GM, if he was the GM, it was another GM. Do you see Tibbs getting fired? Even though we have back-to-back 50-win seasons. Tim says the playoffs will tell how good this team is really and how far we can go. The game is definitely felt like it can be an Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, man. Yo, listen, I thought this was a well-fought game, man. And I think for me, I felt like, okay, we could play with these guys. We can. I thought the Knicks rebounded the heck out of the ball. And I thought they showed a lot of fight, man. But you in the words of the great Ric Flair, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. You got to beat him. You can't just have moments. You got to beat him. You got to knock out the champ. That's what you got to do, man. You can't allow these guys to hang around. They're too good of a team. And I thought that's what the Knicks did tonight. This Rover says 100, man. If another GM was there, Tibbs would be gone. Delali said yes. They're firing coaches already. Yo, that's crazy, right? Especially what happened to Mike Malone. That's crazy, man. He won a championship for them a couple years ago, right? When they win the chip? It wasn't last year. It was Boston. Did they win it the year before? Was it 2023? They won a chip, right? Or was it 2022? When did the Nuggets win? Didn't they win in 2023? I know I'm not bugging. Didn't they win in 2023? They won 2 years ago, man. And they fired that boy, man. They in the playoffs. Atlantic Line said, yeah, they beat Miami. Atlantic Line, that's crazy, right? 2023, so that's ill, right? So that was 2 years ago. This is right before the playoffs they got rid of him, man. That's telling you how it is, man. Even with the Mavs trading Luka, right? That's telling you, ain't no loyalty in this, man. They don't care, man. I think Lionel Mona says no. Keep Tibbs and bring in a solid assistant who can help make necessary adjustments. Okay, Lionel. Okay. Tim says, yep, I still think Dolan going to force Leon's hand to fire Tibbs. This is Dolan's team, and nobody wants to win a chip more than him. Yo, Tim, you know what's ill? I agree, but remember Tim when he spoke on the Tim, did you see him on a roommates podcast? Did anybody see that when he did the roommates podcast with Brunson and Josh Hart? You guys see that? He said some really good things there, man. That kind of, he said this whole team was kind of made through the vision of Leon, Wes, and Tibbs. Like so they're locked in with this, man. So he says he kind of before he used to meddle, now he doesn't meddle. And based on the results, Tim, they are over expectations. They winning 50 games back to back. So you see the Garden was rocking tonight. You feel like he was in the playoffs, right? So he sees that. And you know what I'm saying? So the team is not bad. The team is really good, and we're in the mix. So I don't think he'll get involved, Tim, because they're putting a winning product on the court. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's going to get involved. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think he learned from like the whole Phil Jackson thing. You know what I'm saying? He don't really want to get his hands dirty. If he sees that Leon and them are doing a good job, they're putting a good product out there, the Knicks are in contention, they're always on TV now. Brunson is one of the faces of the league now. Brunson's probably going to be second team All NBA with Cat. Him and Cat are definitely going to make second team All NBA. You know what I'm saying? What if he presents that? If Leon presents that to him, Dolan's got to kind of fall back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see Dolan getting involved. Not with that. You know what I'm saying? They're putting a good product out there. But Tim, I will say this. That's now, right? Things can change quickly, right? Based on whatever happens in these next couple of months, man. You know what I'm saying? So this Grover said, I saw it. He's really hands off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This Grover, like he doesn't touch it. Like he lets them. He learned, like he said, from the whole Phil Jackson piece. You know what I'm saying? So, Lionel Moore said, "What do you think of Mike Malone to the Knicks as an assistant?" I like that. He's basically a younger version of Tibbs. That's what he is. So, I like him, but Tibbs has got a bunch of yes men over there, man. He don't really have nobody that's going to really innovate. Like Mo Cheeks looks like he's asleep half of the time, right? I don't even see. He looks like he's like looking off in the stands doing like, I don't even think he'd be paying attention sometimes, right? So the only person that's really truly engaged to me is Rick Brunson, right? Rick Brunson gives Tibbs like the nod, like, yo, you should substitute these dudes in. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Mike Malone could come in and really help. But if Mike Malone was to come in, whose spot would he take? I think I would have him take Rick Brunson's spot. I think he needs to be right under Tibbs. And I would drop down Rick Brunson to the next assistant. I would give Mike Malone that spot. But I don't know if Tibbs does that because of the whole, Leon, Wes, Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson, all that stuff going on, right? This is real CAA stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? They're really it's thicker than blood, man. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, so I don't see that happening. But I would like him to come. But does he take a lesser role than that? You know what I'm saying? So, and then Lion says, I take Mike Malone as a head coach. I don't know about that. He's like Tibbs, man. He's like Tibbs. He's like a younger version of Tibbs. They do the same stuff. That was the issue out there in Denver. I was reading up on it, man. That's the issue out there. And there was other things too that they were talking about, or allegedly, you know what I'm saying? But really the main reason that they was really beefing about is the fact that he doesn't play the young guys. He plays all these old dudes like Westbrook and, you know what I mean? Like they don't like that. They want to play those young guys, man. Landline says, if I were me, though, I would try to poach Johnny Bryant from Cleveland. Unlikely, but that would be my dream. Johnny Bryant, huh? Yeah, I think the Knicks need to get younger too, man. I do. I mean, all the stars of this league, all the top teams, they got young coaches. I mean, outside of Kenny Atkinson is still young, right? He's been around a little while, but he's not young like JJ Redick and these dudes like JJ Redick and Missoula. Who's the cat over there? OKC. You know what I'm saying? He's not young. Them dudes is young coaches, man. They got even Udoka. You know what I'm saying? Udoka too. You know what I mean? So these guys are innovative, like young guys, and so the league is different. The league is definitely changing. Give me Johnny Bryant. Yo, I like Dan Hurley, man. I like Dan Hurley. Jersey kid, you know what I mean? Right there from Jersey City, right next to the city. You know what I'm saying? I like Dan Hurley, man. I like him. I don't know if he's NBA ready, but I like Dan Hurley. I like that. I like that energy. Tim says, that's why I said what I said. And if we get bumped in round one, he's out of here. Yo, Tim, man, listen, I'm not. Tim, if I'm a betting man, I had to make a decision now. No, that's not happening. But if it's something ugly, Tim, like what you're saying, like it's filthy, you know what I mean? Like let's say we lose, I don't know. How many games in the first round again? 4, right? 4? It's not 3. Before it used to be the best 3 out of 5. I think it's the best 4 out of 7 in the first round. If let's say the Knicks like get like smacked around, like it's like they lose 4-1 or something stupid like that. Yeah, man. I think yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll say that. Ooh, Lionel Moore said I'd rather have Delon Wright over Campaign. I thought Campaign gave good minutes tonight, man. What was his numbers like? I thought Campaign was solid, man. I thought he was solid tonight. Campaign 14 minutes. He wasn't a plus minus. He was an average. He had 7 points, 2 assists, 1 for 3 from 3. I thought he was solid. But I do like Delon Wright. You know what I like about Delon Wright? Lionel. What I like about Delon Wright is his size. He's a legit 6'5", man. Big. And so, he would give, somebody like Pritchard problems because he's long, he's athletic. Yo, you see how Pritchard just went to that Baja and just pushed Landry Shaman out the way and made a layup? I said, yeah, my man, you got to get in the weight room, man. You got to get in the weight room. You can't let this little dude, he's 6'1", coming in and push you out the lane like that. Would he have been able to do that to Dante? Nah. He would have been able to do that to Dante. He would have tried it, and Dante would have punched that thing. He would have smacked it against the backboard. Shaman can't allow that, man. You can't allow that boy to go in that bar and just push you out the way like that and make a layup. You got to give some resistance, man. If not, you got to get in the weight room ASAP, because that shouldn't happen. But I do like Delon Wright, though. I like Delon Wright. I do. Atlanta Lion said he won't get fired. He'd get moved up to the front office. I can see that. But then, I can also see on Atlantic Lion, I can see Tibbs not doing that. I can see him feeling a certain type of way, being in his feelings and leaving and showing and proving that he could do it someplace else. But Tibbs, Tibbs is almost 70 years old, man. So it would really be up to him if he would have the mindset and be able to humble himself and go to the front office. I don't know if he would do that. Tibbs gets a nice promotion to the front office. Listen, agreed. Atlanta Lion says, I think my least favorite thing about Tibbs is his refusal to play young guys. Yeah, I mean, that's his thing, man. I mean, that's an old school way of doing things. You know what I mean? But look, guys, look, the reality is this, right? Tibbs has had a good season. You know what I mean? He has last 2 seasons. I think a big reason for that is Brunson's ascension has been insane. No one saw this coming with this guy. He's become a legit star in this league, a 2-time All-Star now, All-Star starter this year, and he's going to be 2 years in a row. He's going to make All-NBA second team, right? So what Brunson has become is what has saved Tibbs big time. And he has now his lead guard that he had out there with Chicago and Derrick Rose. He has that in Brunson, right? So, we can't deny what the guy has done as a coach, right? But as you guys know, and what a lot of people are saying, you got to start getting over the hump, man. You got to start beating these top teams. And when you're getting smoked like how we're getting smoked, it just doesn't look good. And so tonight was a better night. Even though we lost, I thought we had the game in the bag. So We're getting there. We're getting close. But it's some things that, in watching the game, you kind of say to yourself, okay, some things have to change. Some things have to change, especially with the playoffs right around the corner, right? Some things have to change. So we definitely got to see what that looks like. Because listen, man, because the reality is that we're right there, man. We're right there, and we're a really good team. A really good team. And I love our team, and I love what we are. You know what I'm saying? I just do. And I love how good, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta see how everything pretty much, comes together here. So I guess they had a foul to give tonight, and I guess people are talking about, I guess, with the whole Tibbs piece. I guess Tibbs didn't foul or something like that. Let me try to bring it up for you guys here, so we can kind of talk about it and see exactly. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me bring this up for you. Okay, let's bring up Tibbs here. 1 second. Hope I appreciate everybody coming through rock with me, man. I know LV was on a little hiatus, man. A couple of games, man. I was moving and shaking, man, doing some things. So, but let me see here. 1 second, guys. Okay. Let's hear from Tibbs here, man. See what Tibbs is talking about.
It's tough because of, the made a tough play, 12 seconds left in transition. It's tough because of, the way he's coming at you. He got inside the three. I think he went step back and, it's made a shot,
So Tibbs is talking about there. He's talking about, of course, Tatum's big shot, which I thought was big. And that was huge, man. That was huge for them, right? Here he is again. He's talking about the situation. Like I said, the foul at the end of the game.
Coming at us, and then if he's in the shooting motion, you get.
Here he goes.
It's time and situation. They inbounded the ball quickly. He's coming at us, and then if he's in the shooting motion, you're giving him the 3 shots. So it's, it wasn't off a dead ball situation.
So that's Tibbs again, feeling like, they couldn't have fouled there. I mean, So it's just Tibbs talking about them beating defending champs. Here goes Tibbs.
Something every game. I mean, the Celtics are the bar that every team wants to reach right now. What do you take away from this game?
Yeah, well, and you hit on it. They're the defending champion, right? So until someone proves they can beat them, that they're defending their championship. And so we know that there's a lot of work for us to do. We're still, working through things. I thought Jalen gave us really good minutes. So that's a big plus. Each game he'll get better and better, and but the playoffs will be here, shortly. So there's urgency to this.
You mentioned learning something every game. I mean,
So that's Tibbs. Talking about how well they played, and just them being defending champs, I guess. It's Tibbs being Tibbs, man. Atlanta says, LV, man, how do you feel like Tatum traveled on the game tying 3? Did you feel like no, that's a step back, man? I mean, I put it to you like this: they're allowing so many things today, man, that I know for a fact would have been a travel back when I played. But it's the new league. It's the gather step, right? Isn't that what they're calling it now? Guys, help me out. Correct me. It's a gather. It seems like to me they're giving people extra steps, but whatever. But yeah, he made a move. He stepped back. Looked like he did a Steph Curry, man. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Tough loss for them boys, 119 and 117. The Big Cat, 34 points, 14 boards. So let's hear from the captain, man. Let's hear what he has to say, Jalen Brunson. 1 second, let me share the screen for you guys here. See what the captain is saying here.
The first 3 games that you guys played against them, they obviously weren't this tight. Do you guys, or do you think you guys would be able to look at this game and say, this is how we need to play if we beat them in the playoffs to kind of keep things?
I think this is something we can build off. I don't think this there's a lot of things we can take positively from this game, and there's some negative things we can take. And so I think that's every game, not just this game in particular. But no, it's a little disappointing just knowing that we fought back and had a chance.
The first 3 games that you guys.
So Brunson is pretty much letting it be known. He talks about his frustration because he feels like we should have had this game. I feel the same way. I feel like we let one slip away tonight. Jason Reese says Knicks played a great game and showed they can compete against them. We just came up a little short tonight. Agreed. That's what the captain just said. Little things you could take away from every game, right? But but you could see he's kind of tight about it. He knows, like, okay, they kind of let one slip away. You know what I'm saying? You could tell. You could see the frustration that he feels, man. You could see it on his face. He's very frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Here's the captain once again talking about the overtime situation. Basically, how he feels that they shouldn't even be in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking about it here, the captain.
What was the biggest difference in the overtime period?
Obviously, shots not falling, and then KP hitting a big shot. We just got to execute better. I mean, it's as simple as that. And we shouldn't be in that position anyway to be in overtime.
What was the biggest difference in the overtime period?
He's letting off some firebombs, man. He said we shouldn't even be in that position. I think that was a crazy foul on Cat, though, man. Cat's got to be smarter than that, man. He be making boneheaded fouls, man. And that's basically what he's talking about. Tim says them wide open threes killed this night. KP was looking like Steph Curry tonight. Yo, Tim, that's an adjustment, Tim. They're leaving wide open because they're not switching on those things. They're chasing everything. They go underneath the screens. You can't do that with these guys, man. They got a real true 5-out, not nothing fake. It's a real true 5-out. So you got to respect these dudes. Their 3-pointers are more lethal than their layups and dunks. Like I said, they only shot 53s tonight, man. It can't happen. Jason Weems says we could have won, but we can't beat a championship level team missing free throws, silky turnovers, not getting to loose balls, etc. Agreed. We were 10 for 16 tonight from the stripe, Jay Supreme, and that can't get it done. Can't. Agreed, sir. Atlanta Lions says Boston elevates in the playoffs. I don't believe we can compete with them guys. Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. They're going to be ready to go. They just are. So we gotta lift up the intensity. I think Mitch has got to play more too, man. Mitch has got to play more. I love that 2 big lineup. I love that. Let's listen to the big cat, man. Listen what the big cat has to say.
This one pretty close, goes to overtime. Just is there any type of silver lining in this type of game?
No, we don't take moral victory. So, we did a better job, but it's about getting the win, and we just didn't do that tonight.
This one pretty close, goes to overtime. Just is there any type of silver lining in this type of game?
No, we don't take moral victory. So, we did a better job, but it's about getting the win, and we just didn't do that tonight.
So Cat is obviously really tight. Cat is tight. He said, listen, man, we don't take moral victories. We don't do that. He's not happy at all with tonight. These guys want to win, man. They want to win. I mean, they got swept this year in the series by this team, and they looked really, really bad against them in 3 games outside of this one, right? So these guys can identify, man. They get frustrated. They want to win, man. They want to win. And so I think that, that this is a big deal for these guys, man. This is a big deal. It truly is. So, all right, but listen, guys, let me get up out of here. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming through Rocking with LV Live. Listen, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people, right? Also, too, if it's your first time coming through Rocking with LV, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, tough loss for them boys tonight, 119 to 117. I will be back Thursday to discuss that Detroit Pistons game. So please come through and check that out. All right, people, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.